Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
You just kind of understand the setting. Like, I remember as a kid sitting down on Thanksgiving watching all three games. So I think it's a really cool experience, and not everybody's played on a Thursday night. You know, some of the younger guys especially, and it's a fun experience, especially on Thanksgiving Day, just knowing how many people are going to be watching. But at the end of the day, it's still football, still the same game that we've been playing since we were little kids, and we got to go find a way to go out there and execute and try to win a football game.
That's Josh Allen, Bills quarterback. Bills at Saints, 7:20 Central Time, Thursday, Thanksgiving night. A couple of personnel notes heading into this ball game. You know, we've talked about it earlier this week. Both Adam Troutman and Landon Young have gone to injured reserve. Landon Young, his season is over with the foot surgery. Troutman, he's out 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained MCL. As a result, the Saints have re-signed wide receiver Kevin White to the 53-man roster. He was just let go last week, and now he's right back. And then Ken Crowley has also been re-signed to the 53-man roster. Isn't it wild? It wasn't that long ago that in preseason we were talking about when there was so much uncertainty about cornerback. We were talking about the possibility of Ken Crowley and Paulson Adebo as the starting cornerbacks on the team. As before we knew Paulson Adebo was going to play and play well as a rookie, but man, we were trying to convince ourselves why that was going to be okay. And they've settled. I mean, Lattimore is playing very well. Adebo is having a really good rookie season. It guts me that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson isn't out there because he's such a difference maker in the secondary, and we don't talk about that enough, his absence. But Ken Crowley re-signed to the 53-man roster. Fully expect that he will be out there against Buffalo. And then Kavari Russell released from the 53-man roster. The thing about this game, which is interesting to me, is that Buffalo is better than New Orleans in every phase. Buffalo is a better offensive football team right now, averaging nearly 30 points per game on the season. The Saints at 25 points per game. Defensively, as good as the Saints have been, the Saints allow 21 a game. The Bills allow 17 a game. The Bills move it more, and they allow less. They are better in every phase, and we know the Saints' kicking woes. The Bills are a better team in every phase of the game on paper. But undeniably, the Bills have not found themselves this year. They came into the season as many people thought, a betting favorite in the AFC, and Josh Allen could be an MVP candidate. And they lost week 1, and then they rattled off 4 straight wins. And they capped off that run with the win at Kansas City, where they blew out the Chiefs. It was 38-20. And that, a lot of people were saying, what's wrong with Kansas City? And that started a lot of it. And then they went on the road and they lost to Tennessee, and that started this flip-flop from Bills. They're good one week, they're bad the next. After blowing out Kansas City, they lost to Tennessee. After beating Miami, they lost that 9-6 game at Jacksonville. They went to New York and blew out the Jets 45-17. A week later, they're at home against Indy, and they get blown out 41-15. Buffalo has not found themselves. I mean, this is a team that on paper is very good, that has an MVP caliber quarterback, that has an all-everything wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, an all-pro caliber cornerback in Tre'Davious White. They have talent all over the field on both sides of the ball. They've not been able to put it together consistently and establish themselves. And listen, the Saints' injury situation right now is sincere. And we've talked about it ad nauseum and with good reason. Because how do you ignore when the names that we know are already gone and are done for the year? When you're without Michael Thomas and you're without Jameis Winston now for the year, and you're on to Trevor Siemian as your quarterback, and now Alvin Kamara is not going to play for the 3rd consecutive week. If you missed the injury report, which came out earlier on Wednesday, Kamara's out for the 3rd consecutive week. Ramchik's out. You're going to be missing 2 defensive linemen in Davenport and Passanio. And then Mark Ingram and Teron Armstead were both limited. We're assuming that Armstead will play in this ball game, which will certainly help on the offensive line, having Armstead, and we would just presume James Hurst as your 2 tackles for this ball game. But They're banged up. They're banged up, but it's what it is. And the more that these guys who are made to play, that weren't expected to play key roles, the more experience, more veteran they get. And we say it all the time. You're still an NFL football player. You are still a professional. You are still getting paid, and you have to find a way to go make plays. And I look at Sean Payton as an equalizer because he's a fantastic coach. And despite the limitations, and as disappointing as it's been losing 3 in a row, the Saints were right there against Atlanta. The Saints played brilliantly against Tennessee, and their own self-inflicted wounds cost them that game, where they were better on paper than Tennessee. Their own self-inflicted wounds, missing two PATs, fumbling the kickoff to open the second half, just giving them a touchdown. The awful call by the official on the roughing, which gave Tennessee a touchdown before half. I mean, you all know how it went, but that was a very winnable game against the team with the best record in the AFC. So the Saints have a blueprint to have success with this group of players. And what ailed the Saints in Philadelphia is an outlier. That's a matchup problem. And it's very clear that Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts at quarterback is a matchup problem for New Orleans. You're not going to face that this week. It's going to be a much different challenge, a challenge that suits the Saints defense more. I hate that Marcus Davenport's not going to be there, but Cam Jordan will be. And listen to Cam Jordan talk about, number 3 if you would, about how much he hates losing.
I think every loss is frustrating. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I go in every season trying to be perfect. That clearly has not happened. This year, we've got to focus again. We've got to focus and be a better run-stopping defense for that game never to happen again. Moving forward, we know what we can do. We know how to affect the quarterback. We know how to take over a run game. So we have to, again, control what we can't control. We have to focus on eliminating our gap integrity, our mistakes. And, I think even in that game, there was a whole lot of positive. So can't even focus on the positives or the negatives. We got to focus on the Bills in front of us.
Cam Jordan called Sunday against Philly embarrassing. His word, embarrassing. That defense is going to bounce back in a big way. And y'all, I am a believer in this. What's the old betting angle on streaks or trends? You bet a streak until you lose, because you're only going to lose once. Y'all, the New Orleans Saints on Thursday night games under Sean Payton are 4-0 at home. 4-0 on Thursday night games in the Dome under Sean Payton. On holidays, as quirky as this may sound, when they play on Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, or around that date, October 30th or 31st, Thanksgiving or Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, the Saints under Sean Payton came into the season a perfect 11-0, and they beat Tampa on Halloween to move to 12-0. They've never lost on a holiday. That's a streak. I can't explain it to you. I don't know what it is. But the Saints are going to be wearing color rush uniforms tomorrow. I'm almost certain of it. Drew Brees is going to be in the house, and the place is going to go bonkers. The Saints have not lost 4 in a row since 2015. 2015 was the last time they lost 4 in a row. I just believe in this coaching staff that seem to find a way to get a win. So I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game. They're going to end this losing streak. Improbably, against all odds. But they're going to do it at home in a raucous dome in their color rush uniforms with Drew Brees there, a Buffalo team that's Jekyll and Hyde this year. I think the Saints rise up after that embarrassing performance last week in Philadelphia and play a fantastic, clean football game, and they find a way to win. Give me the Saints 24-23 over Buffalo in the Dome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.